Hey, what's up, Slick Nick here. I know it's been a while since I did a video, but I was going to do this like at least a few months ago, but then some personal issues were kind of in the way, so I held off. But anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about my experience with this new upfront detail policy with Uber, where you get the trip information when you get a request. This is a feature here in California. So basically what it is when you get a trip request, it will display like brief information like where the ride is going to start and also where the destination is, and also with an estimated earnings for the trip, like in a range. And this also applies to Uber Eats, but for the changes they made, nothing has changed with Uber Eats. But what I'm going to show you is there's an acceptance rate, kind of like an acceptance rate. So there's this upfront trip details. See, this is, I haven't driven in a while, but this is how many trips I've accepted. It's sort of like an acceptance rate. You have to have at least 5 of 10 trips requests that you get accepted in order to keep the details. And if you fall below 5, you will lose that information. And then you'll get a request. When a request pops up, it'll pop up like it did back in the old days. So the traditional way where it doesn't give you any information. And sad to say, if that happens, it doesn't even give you the long ride warning if the ride's going to be over 45 minutes long. So that's another thing to be considerate about if you're going to be declining rides. It's best to always choose wisely. If it's a good dollar amount, if you're near there, or if you're going for a bonus, take the ride. But always use the factors like the rating of the passenger, the trip amount, and the distance, and if there's any surge. It's a judgment call before you accept, but you got to choose wisely, because once you lose those details, you have to earn them back. And it's kind of vague how this works, but even actually, let's say you're up to 5 and you accept 1 or 2, it could still be at 5. So I'm guessing they probably want you to like accept a certain number before they start the number building up again. But I don't know. It's kind of weird how they're doing it. So in my experience, it's only happened to me a few times where I've had this number at 4 or less. I had to earn the details back. And there's even one ride I ended up canceling at LAX because the trip was going to San Diego County and it was too late in the day already and I didn't want to go. So it was an inconvenience for the passenger. So that's another big inconvenience, that it doesn't give us the long trip details. And seriously, Uber, is that too much to ask to warn us the trip's going to be over 45 minutes, or hell, even over 90 minutes for that matter? And also, we used to have the Uber Pro rewards. They don't even give us the trip duration if you even have gold or platinum or diamond here in California. If you lose the trip details, they should at least give you that as a backup, Seriously, is that too much to ask? I don't think so. But on the other hand, they should always tell us where the passenger is going, especially if you don't want to take rides that are way too long, because some passengers even misuse the platform. Also on this thing here, the Uber Eats, if you're doing Uber Eats, the Uber Eats will not apply. Because the Uber Eats, you will get the upfront trip details regardless. No matter how high that number is, you'll still get your trip information on Uber Eats deliveries, which is a nice thing too. Especially it helps to determine where we can go, where it's going. Let's say if it's going to a neighborhood where there's parking is scarce, or even the restaurant has parking issues, at least we'll know to avoid it. So that's basically what I wanted to share there with you, was my information that I've obtained using these upfront trip details. But if I ever see any other changes, I definitely will talk more about that. Also, recently, we had a strike with Uber and Lyft. We all turned our apps off on Wednesday, July 21st for 24 hours. We did a strike for better pay, better working conditions. I even shot some footage at the strike over at LAX. So I'll have a video coming soon. But anyway, I have to keep this short because I have a film shoot tonight. I'm working tonight on a film shoot. So I have to drive all the way out to the San Gabriel Valley. So I'll be ending it right here. As always, drive safe. Check the description box below. Use common sense. Until next time, have a good evening.